guests.
Good morning!
For those who don't know me, my name is Mariel.
Hey, Mariel! Motivate me one, that's my friend!
Woo! And today's topic is, name a time in your life when it took on a new beginning and what positive impact did it have on your family?
All right!
So as many of you know, and many of you may have your own stories to share, you know, our life takes on a new beginning at every moment. It's something that is definitely changing. It happens all the time. But one thing that I always make sure is that with every new beginning, I always stick to what is important, what is meaningful to me, and what is true and real. And that is my family. So a new beginning for me took on when my family actually moved out of the city. Now, I was already an adult. I am an adult, right? Married, have a partner, right? But when my family left, it was like, and they're still here in the state, guys. They're literally a 30-minute drive away. But the thing is that as I got older, you know, family, we're big, right? Latino family, we're big, right? Cousins, cousins you've never met, maybe, right? But you know, as everyone starts growing up and forming their families, you kind of start disconnecting. You kind of start losing touch, and everyone's grown up. People are working, and they got their own things going on, right? So, but something that was always constant was, got my parents, my sister and her family, my partner and I. We're complete, right? So when they moved away, I'm like, crap. What am I gonna do now? Like when I need my mom, when I need my sister, I can't just pop in. They're no longer just like 10 minutes away or walking distance away, you know? It was like, what am I gonna do when I get a flat? I still call my dad, guys. I know how to change a flat, but I'm just like, gotta call my dad, got a flat. You know, you turn into that little child, right? Like that inner child that sometimes still lives deep down inside, right? Because it's security. Right, that's what it is. It's security. Your family's there all the time. They're still there for me, guys, right? But this new beginning, right, the positive impact that it had in reality was that it really did a lot of growing up for all of us, parents too, right? Because you don't know how much they rely on you and you rely on them, right? So not having them at a moment's, right, you know, a moment's notice, right, really taught you gotta do things for yourself. You gotta face problems yourself. You gotta just get up and do it yourself, right? And know that they're always rooting behind you. And with that, all right. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. When you make me happy, when skies are gray. I just don't know how much I love you. Don't you take my sunshine away.
Good morning, Cara, Northwest Center, and guests.
Good morning!
For those of you who don't know me, my name is LaTanya.
Hey, Lasagna! Motivate me one, that's my friend!
So today's topic is name a time in your life when your life took on a new beginning and the positive impact it had on your family. So I am the youngest of 6 siblings, and I was raised with just my oldest sister and myself and my mom. And the 4 siblings in between were raised by their aunt in a different state. So I always knew my sisters. I was always a part of their life, but I wasn't raised with them. So from 0 to 8, I was actually raised by my godmother in a whole different household with structure and everything, right? So when she passed away, I went to stay with my mom and my oldest sister. And from that point on, life changed for me. So I was in a one-parent house. She had to work. So I was what they call the latchkey kid, me and my nephew. And so from 13 to 48, I found the world of drugs and alcohol. So during all of that time, I lost a lot of stuff. I lost my mother, I lost my dad, I lost jobs, I lost housing, I lost me. Well, finally, I cried out to my higher power, who I choose to call God, and asked for help and received that help. Went to AA, got into sobriety, went to a recovery home called Sister House, where I was introduced to the Cara program. Once I got into the Cara program, got sustainable employment, an apartment, started saving, started living. I have found me again, right? So once I found me again, the positive impact that it had on my family was that now I'm able to participate in my family's life. I'm able to be a sister. I'm able to be an auntie. I'm able to be a cousin. All those things that I couldn't do for all that time that I was in addiction, right? So during the pandemic, because I've started saving, I was able to go visit those siblings. There's just 3 of us now, but those siblings, 2 of them still live out of state. I was able to go visit them multiple times during the pandemic because I had savings, which something I had never had. So I was able to be a sister, be an aunt. You know, they would call me and ask me my advice. That had never happened before. But because of sobriety, Cara, those things happened for me, and that made a positive impact with my family. And with that, sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.
Northwest Center and Cara guests. For those who don't know me, my name is Freddie Ramos.
Hey, Freddie, motivate me one, that's my friend.
Okay, the question for today is, and I wrote it down so I don't mess it up. Think about a time your life took a new beginning. What positive impact did it have on your family?
All right.
None of us like change, so something usually has to happen to cause us to change. In 2018, my mother got sick. I was the oldest of 5, and I had to take that opportunity to take care of her. Luckily, I had the blessing of my wife. She let me go to Florida to take care of her for almost a year. And when I came back in 2019, that's when the new beginning happened. Funds were low, we had to find work, and we found ourselves at Northwest Center. We went there for some recourses. Through those recourses, they extended an invitation to Cara. Mariel was there working on staff, locally in the Belmont-Cragen area, and that's how I got involved in Cara Connects. And through their services and through their leadership, got work, created a new network, because my network had to start from scratch, created a lot of friends, got jobs, and created a new network, and we're looking forward to bigger and better things. Involved with that, we later got my wife involved in Northwest through some training that they offered there, and she too got involved in Cara Connect and also got employment as well and started up her network as well. So we're very grateful to Cara Connect. We're very grateful to Northwest Center. We've made a lot of friends and a lot of increased our network, and we're looking forward to bigger, better things. So those are the things that positively impact my family, and we're so grateful for that. With that, we are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better day, so let's start sharing. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a brighter day, so let's start sharing.
Took on a new beginning, and what positive impact did it have on your family? Well, my life took on a new beginning actually really recently. I have spent the last 3 years living at home with my parents, and you know, it's been great. Like I loved it. You know, there are no two people who are gonna love me more in this world than mom and dad. And so it was, you know, to quarantine, you know, if you had to pick 2 people to quarantine with, those are the people I wanted to quarantine with. But you know, as the summer approached, I was kind of, I don't know, my age, my stage in life, I was like, is it time? I'm vaccinated, I'm kind of ready to go. Should I move out? Should I take that step? And I decided, yeah, I probably should. I should learn, I should be on my own, I can do this. So I did. And I moved into the city, and it's been so great. But meanwhile, we've had a little trouble in my family. I don't know that it was the best time to move, to be honest, because we lost my mom's mom, and my dad's mom, and my dad's brother all this summer. And I wasn't there. And it was weird to think that my life is taking on a new beginning when their lives had ended, you know, in a sense. And that was a very uncomfortable feeling for me. But I think, you know, the positive side of me moving was that my parents, you know, in the midst of absolute chaos, like chaos and grief, and I mean, I think one of the hardest times in their lives, I think they looked at me and they were like, Claire's making friends. She's, you know, paying bills and cooking and doing other things. She's going on a few dates, which if you know me, that's like insane. That's insane. And she's doing well. Like I'm happy for her. She can do this. She can be independent, and we did a good job. I think they're really proud. And so even with my extended family kind of having some trouble, I think that was a source of joy. And even though I wasn't there, I think that helped them heal and kind of carry on. So that's it. And with that. No
Good morning, Cara, Northwest Center, and guests. Good morning. For those that don't know me, my name's James.
Hey, James, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
For those of you that don't know me, I've been to many Cara motivations, but I've actually never been in the circle in the 8 years that I've known Cara and that I've been doing motivations. So today I want to talk to you about new beginnings, about change, and the impact it had on those in my life. And so for me, my story begins when I went off to college in 2006. And as a first-generation college student, I decided that I was going to leave my family and go to school. And at that point, I wasn't sure if it was the right decision because both of my parents had been working 2 jobs each to make sure that I was able to go to school. And I felt a lot of guilt and shame for making a decision for myself that they sacrificed so much for me. But it also felt like the right choice for me to leave where I was from and embark on this path because my parents always instilled in me wanting a better future for myself, for my family, for them. And going to college felt like that choice. And so looking back 15 years later, my parents were able to come here to Chicago to see me this summer. And for the first time, I realized that my decision to go to college, my new beginning of leaving and being a first person in my family to go to college, first-generation college student, impacted and motivated my family, and that all their hard work, seeing them as a kid work 2 jobs, seeing them sacrifice for me, seeing them sacrifice for my sister, for my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, all of that was worth it in order for me to go to college so that I could have a better life for my family, for my parents, for them. And now as they're older, right, and they're grandparents and they have grandkids, I see them and my nieces and nephews and my family look up to me for the decision I made and the challenge that I took to go to college and leave, as scary and challenging as it was. And so for me, new beginnings are all about that discomfort that you may feel when you make that choice, but also looking back at that choice that you make. And as you look back, thinking through what led you there and where you're at now and how many people's lives you impact by what may be a simple or a really complex decision. And so with that, it's time to sing. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hey, woo.
We used to run around, but good morning, Cara, Northwest Center, and guests. Good morning.
For those of you who do not know me, my name is Mikael.
Hey, Mikael, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
Now, the topic today is to think about a time when your life took a change and the impact that it had on your family. Something like that, right? Okay. So, in order for me to say it, I have to give a little bit of backstory. I became a mom. I got pregnant at 16, became a mom at 17, got married at 21. So by the time I was 22, I was married with 3 kids. Almost solely dependent on my husband. And he made maybe a little bit over minimum wage, but he made it work. And then I would eventually go, I started back doing hair part-time, you know, so that I could be there for the kids. But I was always dependent on my husband. I was dependent on his income. I was just a wife and a mother. That was it. No Mikael. I was mama and honey. Big Daddy still called me honey. 31 years on Monday, we'll be married. So what happened was one day, and I was in my basement shampooing some hair, because you know that's how we do it, right? I'm shampooing, and my girlfriend says, "What's the matter?" I said, "You know, Brandon is a sophomore, he's the baby. Bianca's a senior. Brittany's gone. What am I gonna do now? And she looked at me and she said, girl, whatever you want to. And I'm saying, whatever I want to. I don't even know who I am. I'm mom, I'm wife. But I didn't know who I was. And it took me a couple years to decide to go back to school. And I went back to school, I enrolled at Kennedy King, and I went from GED to now I have an MBA. I did that at the age of 40. At the age of 40, I went back to school. Before I was 45, I had never even taken a college course. I was scared because everybody was my kid's age. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to send an email. But right now I'm a project coordinator at University of Chicago Medicine. And I send a lot of emails, right? So now the impact that it had on my children and my husband and my family is three things that happened. The first thing, they realized it's never too late. That's number one. Number two, they realized that you can speak things that are not as though they are. And that is manifestation. And the last thing, it is never too late. It's never too late. I don't care what's going on in the universe. It is not too late. You can start over. You can have a new beginning. You just think it. You just do it. And that's it. That's it. You speak it. You think it. You do it. Period. And with that, thank you for being a friend. Been around and back again. My heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Good morning, Cara Northwest Center and guests.
Good morning!
For those who still don't know me, my name is Muriel.
Hey, Muriel!
Any announcements?
For those of you who still don't know me, my name is LaTanya.
Hey, LaTanya.
And Monday, I started my second position with Cara, under Cara Connects with my manager, Madiel.
Any other announcements? Any interviews?
Good morning, Cara Northwest Center and guests. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Mary.
Hey, Mary!
Hey, and I'm so excited to announce 3 interviews today. So yesterday, Shakira interviewed at Chase Bank.
Right.
Tomorrow she interviews with Bank of America, both for banker positions. And today we have Kaylani, who is partnering with Cara through the CBOC. She is interviewing at Misericordia for a food service position. So let's wish them both the best of luck.
Any more interviews? Not yet, but they're coming. Now, traditionally, we would bring it home now, right? But we have a special announcement. So I'd like to reintroduce myself. My name is Mariel Corona, and I'm Senior Manager of Cara Connects. For those unfamiliar with Cara Connects, we are a social enterprise of Cara Collective, and for the past nearly 10 years, we have been serving as a mission-driven staffing agency. And since we initiated, we have been able to place 2,000 jobs with folks, right, looking for their next new opportunity. And that brings me to Northwest Center. one of our very top referral and employment partners, and the reason we really are here today. Northwest Center is a community-based organization rooted in and serving in housing, workforce, among other things. And our relationship and partnership with Northwest Center came to be back in 2016. And through our partnership until now, we have been able to serve participants, many who are here with us today, as well as participants of Cara throughout the city, and specifically Belmont Cragen and the surrounding communities here. We've been able to create jobs, create opportunity, and bring programs such as digital and financial literacy. So that brings us to today's event, Tribute to the Stars. It's one of our oldest and mission-focused events. And it is today that we celebrate these kinds of partnerships between participants, employed participants like Mikhail, right? And the communities, and not communities, but the community organizations and partnerships and employment partners such as Northwest Center that have made this happen because of that trust and that relationship, and celebrating those successes that we've heard of today, just a few today, right? So I know that we have a lot more in store for everyone at home. So I want to thank everyone here in person, and also thank everyone at home for watching. And stick around because we have way more things coming for you next. And with that, let's bring it home, guys. What time is it?
Transformation time!
What time is it?
Transformation time!
Wait, what time is it?
Transformation time!
Whose house?
Our house!
Whose house?
Our house!
Whose house?
Our house!
We're gonna make it a what?
A great day!
A what?
A great day!
A what?
A great day!
Good job. Good job. Good job, Latanya. You did.
Coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot. Everybody, everybody. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
All right.
Coming for to carry me home.
All right. All right, somebody be prepared to pick me up. So, welcome for those who are at home and those who are here in the great room. Welcome to Cara Collective's 2021 Tribute to the Stars. It's been a long time coming, so thank you. For those who don't know me, my name is Jesse Teverbaugh.
Hey, Jesse, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
Right. And I'm director of I'm director of student and alumni affairs here at Cara Collective, and we're here to celebrate this tribute to the stars. And I don't know, anybody has ever been to our tribute in the past, by show of hands or by clapping, if you've been to a tribute to stars? One of the reasons I really love this, and Cara really loves this event, is one of our favorites, is because we truly get to focus on why we do the work that we do. We do it to represent all of the participants who come through that, who may have the foundation and make the foundation of why we are all inspired to do this work. And so it's a focus on those participants who have gone on through their struggles, through their journey, through their successes, and we want to celebrate them and give them a spotlight to tell their stories. Also, in the past, usually this is a breakfast event, kind of like a buffet. So we don't have the food for the buffet, but we do have a buffet of other things that we're going to set up for you, right? Again, when we talk about Tribute to the Stars, we're not just talking about the participants. There's other stars that makes this whole thing run, right? We have our volunteer base that makes this run. I'm going to introduce you to this dynamic brother and sister duo, Bob McCary and his sister, Barb Foreman. And without their work, none of this could be done. They've dedicated their time to assist participants with their resumes, with their interviewing techniques, to get them prepared when these opportunities finally come to fruition that they're prepared for. We don't get this work done without volunteers like them. We're also going to be recognizing partnerships with neighbors, and we're going to be presenting the Tom M. Owens Good Neighbor Award to Cabrini Green Legal Services. Again, we don't get any of this done without the help of other people. But most importantly is what we get to do is we get to hear stories. And we get this big production around here and we got cameras and stuff. But just like any movie, we say Tribute to the Stars, just like any movie, the movie's no good if there's no what? No, but the stars have got to tell a story. They've got to tell a story. And if the stars are up there and the story is whack, but I'm getting ready to introduce you, we're going to introduce you to some stars who have enormous and magnificent stories of struggles, challenges, but most importantly, triumphs. And we'd love to share those with you as well. So I hope you enjoyed the little groups that you had when you began, the little breakout rooms of our little morning motivations. But what I hope you do is, if you've been moved, touched, and inspired by any of those stories, that you continue to support us, that you continue to look for ways to kind of support us. I know we're kind of coming in under an upside down kind of world, so there's new opportunities. There's things that we can also do to kind of pitch in and help out and keep Cara rolling strong. So please join me. Please enjoy your morning. I'm losing my voice as I go. But to help me get this party started, I'm going to bring on Miss Katie, and she's going to get blessed egg.
Good morning, Cara Collective and guests.
Good morning.
For those of you who may not know me, my name is Katie.
Hey, Katie, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
I just want to start by saying how amazing it feels to be back in this room with all of you and all of you at home. So thank you for tuning in. I can feel the love and the energy and the hope and the inspiration within these four walls. And I can feel our dad's presence here today. So thank you. The topic for today is, what is your legacy and how do you want to be remembered? So for those of you who don't know the story, my dad, Tom Owens, started this beautiful mission 30 years ago. Dad realized that there was a problem in Chicago. Talented folks who faced some of the biggest challenges, like poverty, homelessness, lack of resources, were being overlooked in the workforce. And he realized that these motivated men and women needed a friend, or as they say in Gaelic, a cara. So Dad set out in his car and he drove around and he went to homeless shelters, he went to recovery homes, and he worked one-on-one with men and women, motivated men and women who wanted a chance, who needed a confidence builder, who needed a friend. Mom did her part working in the clothing room, making sure that the men and women felt and looked their best going into those interviews. So fast forward 30 years later, over 7,500 men and women have been placed in over 12,000 quality jobs around Chicago and nationally. And we're just getting started. So CARE is more than just a job, as we all know. It's about transforming your life. And because of these jobs, these men and women have not only changed the trajectory of their own lives, but the lives of their families. So, the topic is legacy. Here is the legacy that my dad passed down to myself, my 4 siblings, and 22 of his grandchildren. Very simple values. Be kind. You never know what kind of challenges other people are facing day to day. Be humble. Be respectful. Be grateful for everything you have, every blessing that comes your way, even the challenges, because many times there are blessings in the challenges. And he would say, service, serving others and serving your community when you can. I think Dad would be the first to say that Cara is so special because of this community. The staff, participants, alumni, volunteers all believe that the best days are ahead of us, and that when we work together, we can unlock the potential in ourselves and in each other and in our communities. With that, I would like to call up 2 of our very dedicated and loyal volunteers to present the Thomas M. Owens Mission Award, Bob McGarry and Barb Foreman. Bob and Barb embody all of the values of the legacy of our dad. This dynamic duo, brother and sister team, have volunteered at Cara for more than 15 years collectively. Bob 10 and Barb almost 5. They help participants build confidence and showcase their talent by assisting with resume writing and computer literacy skills. They make sure that our participants stand out for their professionalism. More than that, Barb and Bob have a way of connecting with those that they mentor to give them the skills and the community and the love that they need to go out and really showcase their professionalism. They even did so during lockdown. I know, phone calls, virtual meetings, nothing stopped Bob and Barb. So Bob and Barb believe that working together, we can help our communities be a better place for everyone. So it is my honor and privilege to present the Thomas M. Owens Award to Bob McGarry and Barb Foreman for their dedication to the Cara mission.
Thank you, Amy, for that fantastic introduction. Really, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to be accepting the Thomas M. Owens Mission Award, and feel that I have to say good morning, Cara Collective, guests, and stars. I see you out there. I see you out there. I'm going to run around the room and bump fists. For those that don't know me, my name is Bob.
Hey, Bob, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
So, one of the things that I've always been impressed with is Carol. When I first came here, I was taken almost immediately to the motivations room, and I said, oh my God, I've never seen that before. And then sat in on a Jesse class that was phenomenal from the standpoint of what they're accomplishing at Cara with at-risk students. So I joined Cara, and here I am 10 years later. And again, overwhelmed with gratitude to be receiving this award. But I would be remiss if I didn't reach out and thank all of the staff people that supported us over all of these years, because without their support, by God, nothing would have been accomplished. Thank you, thank you, thank you, staff members, and that includes both past and present, in case there's some past people out there. Now, you don't have to be a detective to figure out that Bob has been around for a number of years. I got the gray hair going for me. I got the old man shoes on. This is an old man blazer. Nobody wears these anymore. Anybody have one of these on? Okay. Okay. So I've met a lot of people from all walks of life. And I have to say that some of the finest people I have ever met in my entire life have been Cara students, Cara staff members, and other Cara volunteers. Fine organization and great, great people. With that, I am going to hand the microphone over to my sister Barb to say a few words, and thank you, thank you, thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Bob. Good morning, Cara Collective and guests.
Good morning.
For those who don't know me, my name is Barb.
Hey, Barb, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
Will do. Just want to echo Bob briefly and expressing the amazing joy and really profound gratitude and humbling privilege it is to receive this award today. Thank you so much, Katie, your family, Cara, everyone. Thank you. It's unimaginable. Also echoing Bob, want to thank staff for support. Ongoing support, especially during the past year and a half. Always there to answer quick questions, get us scheduled with participants, and help us work through glitches. Always available and willing to help. Thank you. Want to take a minute to offer a nod to my brother, my big brother Bob. I was introduced to the Cara mission by him, and then invited by him into the Cara community to assist him in the resume building workshop. So I've treasured all the extra time we've had to spend together, and really appreciate your introduction to me to the Cara community. It's been your greatest gift to me. Thank you. And now, finally and especially, Cara participants, thank you. It's a joy and really a privilege to be entrusted with your personal story. The sacred journey you travel. And that includes listening to, hearing about, holding your hopes, your dreams, challenges, struggles, goals, all that lies beneath and beyond mere work history, and skill sets. Thank you, CARA participants, for your trust, your sharing. Thank you for all the ways you widen my world and expand my heart. Thank you, everyone.
I want to do it again. I want to do it again. Emily?
Yeah. Way to go. Wow.
Let's go!
You're the man. Good morning, Cara Collective and guests.
Good morning.
For those of you who don't know me, I am Deshaun.
Hey, Deshaun. Motivate me. What? That's my friend.
Yeah. So, I am Deshaun. I am the Senior Individual Development Specialist here for Cara.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, I'm part of the coaching team, okay? So, today's topic is, what is your legacy and how do you want to be remembered? It's going to be real short and sweet. I will have to say I want to be remembered kind of like how I parent, which means I want to be remembered as the guy that never gives up, no matter what obstacles are in front of him, no matter what bumps in the road is right there in front of him, always find a way to either jump over them or walk around them. That's the type of guy I want to be remembered. Never give up. I want to be that guy that, you know, tells individuals or show individuals that you don't have to give up no matter what's happening in your life. And I speak that into my children. I speak that in my friendships. I speak that to the participants, because we get a lot of participants coming here that don't believe in themselves because they may have found or they may have made a mistake in their life. And sometimes they don't believe that they can jump over that hurdle or walk around that hurdle. So I want to be that guy that's remembered as investing his time in letting individuals know, whether they family, friends, or whatever, letting individuals know that you don't have to give up. There's always help out here, no matter what happens. And so that brings me to why I'm standing before you today. I'm here to honor a group of individuals who also has helped individuals all over the Chicagoland area overcome those barriers, to walk around those barriers, or to jump over those barriers. And I'm here to honor them with the Good Neighbor Award.
All right, put them in, Coach.
So, just to give you a little feedback, the Good Neighbor Award is given annually to a group of partnerships with Cara Connects that has helped our mission expand its reach. So this group has did more than just expand its reach. They helped individuals. They help save lives. They help save lives because of some of the mistakes that they've made in their life. You know, they help seal their criminal records. They help expunge their criminal records. These are certain things that stop you from being successful in your life. You know what I'm saying? So CJLA has helped hundreds of our participants, you know, and with helping them, our participants don't have to settle for certain jobs that they don't want. They have the privilege to choose the type of jobs that they want. You know, a lot of jobs don't accept if you have a criminal background, but with the help of Green Legal Aid, they can work, they can choose what they want, and they can work and have a smile on their face, because a lot of us choose jobs that we don't want. And when you choose jobs that you don't want, you don't be happy. You don't be happy, and you're not going to keep it. You're not going to keep it. So with that being said, I'm going to call up an individual that's going to receive this great award, Mr. Steve Fuss. All right. Give it up, give it up. Steve, I just want to look at you and let you know and thank you on the behalf of Cara Collectives. Because of the job that you and your organization does, you've helped a lot of our participants shine. You help them smile. You know, I can relate to a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? So because I see that you've helped a lot of them, you've helped individuals like myself and a lot of countless other participants and individuals here in Chicago. Because of your work, you've helped, again, put a smile on people's face. So I would like for you to say a few words while I hold this microphone.
Good morning, Cara Collective and guests.
Good morning.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Steve.
Hey, Steve, what make me what? That's my friend.
Thank you. You know, on behalf of Cabrini Green Legal Aid, thank you. Thank you very much, Deshaun. Thank you, Cara Collective. We've been good neighbors now for over 11 years. And it's just been so easy because we're both trying to do the same thing.
Try.
Doing.
But to do it. So do it, Steve.
Thank you. Do it. Absolutely. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesse. But we are doing it together. That's what good neighbors do. That's what the partnership's about. Inspiring others, helping them where they need it, providing hope and inspiration. Together, we've helped over 600 individuals through the partnership. But 600 is not an accurate number because, as you know, each one of those has family, has friends, has parents, has brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, acquaintances. And when you inspire hope in one of them and inspiration, it spreads. It spreads like a virus so that it goes on to all of them. And it doesn't stop with individuals. Once you get enough individuals, you then move on and it inspires and uplifts neighborhoods, communities, cities, and beyond. All those 600 have a story. Mark told me there's probably not enough time for me to tell all of them, but I did pick one representative story, Archie's story. Archie came to us as a referral through Cara. They were working with him, trying to get back on his feet. Archie had a substance abuse problem, and he had a criminal background as a result. He had 10 felony convictions. And you can imagine trying to get a job, trying to get housing, trying to get a loan. Anybody that wanted to see could discover that Archie had a background, and they didn't want him. So working simultaneously while Cara worked with Archie to get him into a substance abuse treatment program, help him get a clean drug test, we worked on the legal side, filling out his paperwork. The state's attorney objected to sealing Archie's record. But because we had the clean drug test, and because we had knowledge that Archie was in a treatment program, and it connected with the church, we were able to convince the court, despite the objection by the state, to grant Archie's sealing, which has now put him on a path to success with a clean record without anybody discriminating against him because of something in his past. That's really the power of our neighborly partnership, which at CGLA is led by Cynthia Cornelius, our Director of Programs. Brandon Williams, our Supervising Attorney. And David Hines, our senior attorney, who couldn't be here today, unfortunately. I'll tell you that this award is going to be prominently and proudly displayed within our offices, because it's going to provide the inspiration that we're providing to others. Sometimes we need that too. And we will absolutely use that for that inspiration. I know we're just pausing here for a minute to say thank you, but there's so much more work to do. And I can't think of a better neighbor, a better partner than the Cara Collective to get on with it. And that's what we'll do. Thank you.
All right. How you feeling? How are you feeling? Now get on your feet and tell me how you feeling. Cool. So, like I told you, this was one of our favorite events of the year here at Cara Collective. But this is one of the reasons, and the portion that we're getting ready to get into now is why it is so much of a favorite of ours. We talked to it, and about the topic for today is, what is your legacy and how do you want to be remembered? And this is the opportunity, again, it goes right back to the theme of this whole event, a tribute to the stars. And if you kind of think of it in a movie kind of sense, again, what makes the movie is a story. And I'm going to introduce you to some amazing, amazing women, Miss Anna and Miss Denise. But I want you to understand, they don't just represent their stories, they represent thousands and thousands of other Annas. They represent thousands and thousands of other Denises. And just like Steve mentioned, you're not just listening to how their legacy individually was affected. It reaches back. A legacy has the power to go back into the past. A legacy has the power to keep us in the present. But a legacy also has the power to take us into the future. And so their stories that they're going to share with you is not just about their journey and their challenge. There are many people and family members and friends and support systems that went along on that journey too. And so again, as we talk about this, about being at Cara, and we call this our house. And I don't know how many of you have known, but I did some math. Do you know how long it's been since we've got in this forum, in this atmosphere, and did one of these morning motivations? Anybody guess? It's been 1 year and 7 months since we've sat down and done this. It's been 595 days since we've not been able to do this. And imagine all of us who do this work, this is how we start our morning every day. That we've done this for the past 30 years. We've started our day like this. And everything that we've gone through in Cara's legacy that has kind of been severed. But again, we don't settle for that. Like Deshaun said, what do we do when we have barriers? We hop over them. Or we do what? We go around them. But Cara, sometimes we just bust right on through. We just bust right on through. They call us gangsters in the nonprofit world, right? We just bust right on through. And so these stories that Miss Anna and Miss Denise are going to share with you, please keep in mind that it's just not how it affected them. There's a whole train of reaching back and touching generational curses, right? Generational curses that Steve mentioned on how it affects individuals and how it can affect generational curses in the future. And we call this our house. We want to thank you for making our house a home. And it's our home because of the stories that you're about to hear. So give a warm welcome and a big Cara greeting to Miss Anna, who's going to share her story with you.
Good morning, Cara Collective and guests.
Good morning.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Anna.
Hey, Anna. motivate me, work, that's my friend.
Woo! I missed that. It's been a long time, very long. So the topic for today is, what do you want your legacy to be, and what do you want to be remembered by? I am a resident service coordinator at an apartment building for people 62 and older. My job is to connect them with resources so that they live independently as long as possible. Our oldest resident is about 95. There was a resident who was an artist, an amazing artist. This woman was the first person that I made a relationship with when I started working, because she worked with me on the bulletin boards and art for our events. Her art was astounding. It was so realistic and it conveyed so much emotion that everybody loved to see it in the hallways. So she left a special place in my heart. When, before I got to Cara, I was in a really dark place. I had lost a job of 13 years. I was getting out of a very toxic relationship, and I was trying to take care of my kids. I had started looking for a job, and it was harder than I thought it would be. There was lots of times where I would send resumes and cover letters, and I would not get a response. So I was already depressed and in a dark place from losing my job and coming out of a long 10-year relationship, and that just beat me down even more. It affected me to the point where I felt like I needed to leave my kids with my mom so that the burden wouldn't be that rough on her. She would just have to take care of my kids, and she would be able to get the resources that were available to my kids, and it would be easier for her. I knew that I was gonna, I don't know, go somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't know, I thought that that was the best action plan. Fast forward a little bit, I get introduced to Cara, and I start Cara. I came for the interview. Jill interviewed me, and I remember sitting in the reception area, and when she called me up, we sat down, and she gave me the sheet of paper and asked me the questions, and I just started bawling. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, what did you just do? These people are gonna think you're crazy. These people are gonna think that you're not gonna be able to thrive in an environment where you have to work, and you just, threw your whole future away. And I was surprised to see that Jill was very supportive. And she gave me the whole spiel, the walkthrough. She showed me the clothing room, and she told me, this is the date you start. I will be in contact before then. Be ready for my phone call. And I went home and I said, they're not gonna call me, or they're gonna come up with an excuse as to why I'm not appropriate for the program. Jill called me, and I started in December. I think it was December 4th, if I'm correct. And I remember coming in, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I said, you know what? Do everything they ask you to do. Even if you want to run away, run towards it. And that's exactly what I did. And I slowly started to get my confidence back. I started making connections with the staff, with other students in the class, and that helped my confidence as well. I would help them, but they were also helping me because I was gaining my confidence. So I know the topic of the story is, what is your legacy and what do you want to be remembered by? And I want my legacy to be like the legacy of my resident, where she was working on this art, and I don't think she realized that she was leaving a legacy behind. Like there's this tangible legacy that you can see, but there's something much more than that. There's more than that behind it. There's emotion and there's love. And I don't think she realized what she was doing when she was doing it. And I don't think she realized that she left such a deep legacy on a lot of people. And I want that to be my legacy, to help speak other people's legacies that don't always have the chance to be heard. And I want to be remembered by touching people's hearts and making their hearts smile. And with that, okay, so here goes. Ay, no hay que llorar, la vida es un carnaval. Hay que vivir cantando, oh, ay, no hay que llorar, la vida es un carnaval, hay que vivir bailando.
What that meant in Spanish?
Yes, so it translates roughly into life is a carnival. You cannot live crying. Life is a carnival. You have to live happy and dancing.
Show the camera.
Yeah, more, give me some more, give me some more, give me some more, give me some more. Okay. Good morning, Cara, Clean Slate, and guests. I'm sorry, not Clean Slate. Collective. For those of you who don't know, my name is Denise.
Hey, Denise, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
Okay. Today's question is, what is your legacy and how would you like to be remembered? Well, my legacy is compassion. It starts off, I'm going to take you on a journey to my mom, my very first teacher in life, as we all have. She taught me things that I didn't understand that I was actually being taught, little things like how to keep a house, how to wash, how to present myself, and how I want others to perceive me. Taught me how to put on perfume, you know, just different things, how to make sure you sit when you have a dress on, how it was the appropriate way. Stuff like, whatever, okay, just getting through it. I found these little nuggets, a nuisance, as my mom was telling me. However, when I found myself in prison, federal prison, and we have different roommates from different parts of the country, actually, in federal prison. And I had a roommate that couldn't have been more different, had a more different upbringing than myself. She didn't even know how to wash. She didn't know how to pick out underwear for herself. I thought everyone had a Annie P. Cummings, which is my mom, but I found out not. So I kind of showed her. She watched me, and I watched her, and she learned some things unbeknownst to me. She started doing ladylike things, and she had brothers who, you know, she was a guy gal, before you say a tomboy, and so long story short, she left. And I was still there years later. I think we were roommates for about 4 years. After the camp I was in broke down, they sent ladies all across the map. I wound up in Florida, and this was years later. I wound up in maximum security. It was kind of rough. Had met up with other ladies, again from different walks of life, and it was a little more depressing there than, if you can imagine. There's different levels of depression in that type of situation. And this was about 6 years later, after the roommate I just told you about, we had parted. And I was walking the yard. We have a certain amount of time to get from one building to the next. We just had a mail call, and I had a letter. Didn't know who it was from, looked at it, and so I was walking to my serene place on the compound, and opened the letter and looked, didn't know who it was. I started reading, and the letter went on to say that they were looking for me, hadn't found me, and was asking questions, did a deep search, and found, hoping that this letter reached my hands. And I'm reading, I'm still not knowing who it is. And she went on to say how I didn't recognize who her last name was. She had gotten married and found a husband that adored her. And she had a little girl. She had a little boy before. And she told me it was because of me that she had a family. That her son was in the ministry, in the youth ministry, and he had done such awesome work that he had gotten a letter from President Obama at the time. And he adored his sister. And she was teaching her daughter the things that she had learned from me. And so that gave me hope and gave me purpose to finish that journey, because now what my mom taught me, she's teaching her little girl, and that's, I can't even put that in words on what that means to me. So went on, and after I left out of the system, total of 15 and a half years in, some of the other ladies knew about Cara program, and of course I was like, sign me up, whatever needed. I got here in a community where everyone was searching for the same thing, searching for purpose, acceptance, and to put what their past was behind them, leaving it there. It was wonderful, again, being in 15 and a half years. The world kept going. Technology, I thank God for Bob, who introduced me to the new computer technology system. You know, back in the day when I was out, it was Lotus 123. I don't know if any one of you know what that means, but it's not Microsoft, that's for sure. But I thank Bob for his diligence and him seeing in me and helping me to continue to go on to even more computer classes from there. Also, I thank Cara for introducing me after trying to be released from federal prison. They like to have that hold on you. I was introduced to Cabrini Green Legal with them for the releasing of me being out. And I was told that they only took care of state cases, and of course mine was fed. And it was okay, so I did my little research and looking around, and a couple of months, almost a year later, I got a call from Cabrini Green saying, oh, well, Denise, we found a lawyer that deals with federal issues. So, okay, and they gave me the number. I talked to Attorney Saunders, and this was on a Thursday. He said, well, when would you like to meet? I'm like, you tell me, I'm at your disposal. So we met that Friday, and I went to his office on the 44th floor down here downtown. Beautiful, beautiful office. When I stepped off the elevator, I was like, yeah, it's gonna happen here. And when I met with Attorney Saunders, I said, thank you so much for answering the call of God. This is going to be the easiest, smoothest case ever. You're going to be amazed. And he's looking like, okay, and I'm thinking he's searching for his security button, because it's like, this one is, I don't know about this one. But he looked at me and he was like, okay. And we sat down. He said, well, tell me a little bit about what's going on, you know, what you've been up to since you've been out. And so I told him, you know, a little stuff, and he was like, okay. And then when I told him that I'm a graduate of the Cara program, he was like, what? Excuse me? Cara? Okay, tell me about that. And so we talked, and I told him it's going to be a breeze, no problem. He went on to tell me, okay, well, I don't want you, you know, to be upset. It's a process and it takes time. He said about 2 weeks, and then everyone's on vacation, then the judge have a caseload, and it might even be long. Plus, he was going on vacation. I said, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. When you get back off vacation, we're going to have a celebration. You want me to order that now? We can order some balloons and cake. So he said he was going to file my paperwork that Monday. He gave me a call, asked a few more questions. And that was it. So I was waiting, sitting back for about 3 weeks. Something should happen. So I get a call on Friday. Now, I just met with him Friday. He calls me the next Friday. And I'm thinking, okay, well, what did he forget? Or he's telling me he's going on vacation. So he says, well, Denise, I talked to the judge. I submitted your paperwork. The judge looked at it, and he said that I don't have to come and see him, that to go ahead and have a nice life. And that was just a week. And I don't know, I think he was tapping the phone because it went totally dead. And I was just overwhelmed, and I didn't know what to say. And it was just tears. And I just want to thank Cabrini Green Legal, because it had not been for them connecting with someone outside of what they were doing, which was state. They came in, fed, and found it, and I feel that just for me, and I thank you for it. Fast forward after that, now I'm been working with Old St. Patrick's Church. I'm the administrative specialist, administrative support specialist there, where I get to meet and greet people with issues sometimes, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I've also been asked, my friend has a domestic violence shelter in California, and she's asked me to come on her staff to help facilitate domestic violence classes for women who are incarcerated. And I thank God for that. And with that, celebration time, come on. Celebration time, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate and party with you. Come on now, celebrate. All right, y'all. All right, 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 all right. Woo, 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 woo. Good morning, Cara Collective and guests.
Good morning.
For those of you who do not know me, my name is Kathleen St. Louis Caliento.
Hey, Kathleen, don't make me what? That's my friend.
Good morning. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of being the president and CEO of Cara Collective, and what an incredible morning it has been. Thank you to all of you who have joined us downtown here in our offices, from the comfort of your own home, for our 2021 Tribute to the Stars. And I want to start by just saying thank you, Anna, and thank you, Denise, for your incredibly powerful stories. This is why we do the work. As Mr. Jesse mentioned earlier, this is one of our oldest celebrations, and it truly is a celebration of our stars, and the stars of our alumni, the alumni who help us recognize and realize the power that can come from within a community. And I know that community has looked a little bit different over the last 20 months, right? But if there's one thing that I've realized, it's that the spirit and the magic of this organization and the work that we do every day, it's not limited to these four walls. So the question today is, what is your legacy? How do you want to be remembered? As you might imagine, this question weighs a little heavy with me as I think about my first 4 months leading this incredible organization. I think about the time when I got the call, the shock. Wait, did you get the right number? And then the excitement and joy that overcame me. The fact that I would be asked to take on this mission that Mr. Tom Owen started 30 years ago on the floorboard of his car, a mission that has helped to provide jobs, hope, opportunity for so many folks living in poverty. And to lay the groundwork for the next 30 years, well, as you might imagine, it's just an incredible honor, particularly because of the crucial moment that we are in our world. And we're living in a crucial moment because it's not just a health pandemic, as many of you know. We're living in a racial and equity pandemic as well, where your zip code, your location on a map, the color of your skin is more of a predictor of what's possible for you, where individuals, families, communities are denied the opportunity to thrive, where talented pools of folks, which any corporation or organization would be so fortunate to have, are never allowed that opportunity. I think about my parents, Haitian immigrants who came over many years ago, and the access that they didn't have actually to resources. I think about my mom in particular, who's watching. Hi, Mom. And how she struggled to find the right opportunities for jobs as she struggled to put herself through nursing school. I think about the own inequity that I faced as I was applying to colleges and being encouraged to only apply to a certain type of school. And I think about my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, Mia, whom I never want to have to face these limitations. So what is my legacy and how do I want to be remembered? I want my legacy to be one of access, one of equity, and one of opportunity. I want to break down the systemic barriers that have prevented folks like Anna and Denise to have what they deserve in life and prevented their stories from even being shared. When the world completely reopens, I want Cara Collective to be there for our participants, meeting them where they're at, providing them with those opportunities. And I want to ensure that equity is ingrained in the fabric of what we do at Cara Collective every day. That we're not just doing the work, but we're doing the work. And I want to leave this world a much better place than I've been in it for my daughter, but also for the thousands of people in Chicago and beyond who struggle with poverty and other barriers every day. As has been mentioned, we've had an impactful 30 years, but we're just getting started.
Yeah. That's right.
Our work is not done yet, and I'm so excited to see where we're going to go. And if I just get one letter from somebody, Denise, then I'll know that it was a job well done. So, before I let you go this morning, I want to acknowledge that this year's tribute would not have been obviously possible without some incredible organizations and individuals. So I want to just take a moment to thank them. First, for our motivation sponsor, our founding family, the Owens Foundation. Incredible ongoing support. Thank you so much. And to our job sponsors, Jackson, Molson Coors, and of course, David and Amanda Mabey. Thank you so much. One more big thanks to our alumni, Anna and Denise. And to all of you who went into our motivation circles this morning. Thank you for being brave to do that. And of course, to our honorees, Cabrini Green Legal Aid, and to Bob and Barb, thank you so much for your partnership. So if you've been moved by the stories of this motivation and the motivations that you've heard this morning, if you've been inspired by the work that Cabrini Green Legal Aid has done for hundreds of lives, if you feel connected to our mission the way that Bob and Barb do, I want to ask you, show us some love. click on that donate button that's on your screen, pick up the envelopes that are on your seats, and help us lay the groundwork for the next 30 years. I encourage you to support us. Every gift today counts towards helping us launch to new beginnings and to lift up future stars of Cara. Thank you again for being a part of this community, for helping us fuel the next 30 years, and for making it a great day. All right, Jesse, come help me take it home.
Recognize, go! Let's go, let's go, let's go!
All right. Again, good morning. For those who don't know me, my name is Jesse.
Hey, Jesse!
Y'all remembered. All right. Get y'all right back in the room. Listen, thank you for everybody for joining us and coming to our house. Also, I want to just remind and take this moment as well. If everybody can just sit down for 1 second. I mentioned that we were going to hear these amazing stories about Anna and Denise, and I told you to keep in mind that there are thousands and thousands of other Annas and Denises as well. So I'd be remiss, because we have some other alumni in the house as well, and I'd like to give them an opportunity to stand up, introduce themselves, tell us what class you're from, and where you work at. If we can do that. Cara alumni. If you're comfortable, if you're comfortable, if you're comfortable. Come on, for those who don't know me.
For those who don't know me, I'm Cecil Bowen.
Hey! Cecil!
Motivate me, what? That's my friend!
For a long time since the circle. I love it, I love it, I love it. 2006, class of 2006, I got hired, Cara placed me at a job at Mid-Range Repair and Parts in Alsip, Illinois. I worked there 11 years. I retired 3 years ago. Wow. And it's been amazing, right? I've become a property owner, a second property owner, and it's all because of what Cara gave me. And I still come back.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Cara Collective. For those of you who don't know me, my name is LaTanya.
Hey, Tanya! Motivate me, what? That's my friend!
Thank you. So, class of August 2016. And I now work for Cara Collective. And in my second position here. Thank you.
Hey, April, motivate me, what? That's my friend.
I am so proud to be an alumni of Cara, class of April 2017. I am still at the job that Cara blessed me with, which was at the Clarence House Hotel, where 2019 I was Employee of the Year.
Yep. Thanks, April. So give not only the alumni that are here in the room with us, but those alumni who are tuned in and watching virtually, but all our alumni, because without them, we would not be here. So please give a moment and give a lot of So ending this and wrapping this up, we talked about tribute to the stars, and we talked about the stars of the movie, right? But then you have the people in the backgrounds, the cameramen, or the volunteers, or the partnerships, and all those other things that make us do what we want. But also there's some other stars that go along with this. It's with your help. It's with the help of other people, those who are watching in and joining us in. Again, you're part of the tribute to the stars that we're talking about too. We could not do this work without all of your help. It is truly a Cara collective. It is truly a Cara collective, and we don't mean that word when we say collective about Cara's umbrella or Cara's enterprise. It is the community that we work within that we're wanting to bring together so we can continue to do this work. Like Kathleen said, 30 years, but we just now getting started. we got another 100 left up in us. All right, and I'm gonna be around for a lot, 100 of them. All right, so with that, let's take this out.